Did you know that some of the top quality athletic shoes that you can find in the shelf are directly exported from Vietnam? Did you know that Asics itself are working with 3 times more factories in Vietnam than they do in China? This is what we're gonna discuss in today's video. And we are analyzing one of the latest Asics supply chain reports highlighting and disclosing some of the names and locations of the manufacturers that they are working with. We'll also dive into how Vietnam has become a powerhouse in the footwear industry and why Asics specifically relies on Vietnam to produce its high-quality shoes. If you are curious about how your favorite brand is making shoes in Asia to export, or if yourself want to start a journey into manufacturing products in Vietnam in the footwear industry, this is a must-watch video. Before we get into it, we are Move to Asia, your go-to sourcing agency in Vietnam. We can assist foreign buyers from finding the right supplier, doing due diligence on their behalf, organizing factory tour, taking care of the entire production process with quality control. We also have a warehouse for mixed container consolidation. In a wrap, we can act as your buying office in country to take care of the entire scope of your production need. Let's dive about an overall understanding about the history of Asics and its manufacturing basis. Founded in 1949, Asics began as a smaller company crafting baseball and shoes in Kobe, Japan, but it had a different name back then, Onitsuka Co. Limited, named as its founder, Kirashiro Onitsuka. Onitsuka had a vision. He believed sport could help build a better future. Pretty inspiring, right? That's actually where Asics' motto, a sound mind in a sound body, comes from. And it's still the core of everything they do. Fast forward to 1977, Asics rebranded. And with the name change, they introduced something truly groundbreaking, gel technology. Think about this. This cushioning system revolutionized impact absorption, making it easier for athletes to push their limits without sacrificing comfort. Before we get into one of the latest reports of Asics disclosing the names and location of the current factory, let's understand the big picture and how they've been moving their facilities along the years. In the early days, Asics started in 1949 in Kobe, Japan. Back then, the production was small-scale and entirely domestic. By the 1980s, Asics began spreading its wings globally. The goal was to diversify production and cut costs, and here is how things went through. In order to mitigate exchange rate fluctuations and import restrictions, the company began licensing production overseas to the United States. Subsidiaries in Taiwan and South Korea were set up to manage production and distribution. Production happened also in China of wrestling shoes, kicked off in the late 1980s. Then Asics shifted its production from South Korea to Indonesia by 1990, driven mostly by labor cost savings. Fast forward to today, Asics now operates factories in over 30 countries. While China remains its manufacturing backbone, Vietnam has emerged as a key hub, producing a significant share of its footwear and apparels. For transparency purposes, Asics started releasing in 2017 a yearly report disclosing where the brand is manufacturing and making most of their items, and this is the key resource that we are using in today's video. This is a great source of information and covers key Tier 1 and Tier 2, which are the subcontractors or materials suppliers such as rubber and plastic in more than 20 countries responsible of the manufacturing of Asics products, from footwear, apparel, accessories, and equipments. Together, these lists account for more than 90% of their global volumes of products manufactured annually. And here is a breakdown of the factory location based on Asics supply chain transparency list of January 26, 2024. The top 6 countries collectively house of the bulk of Asics manufacturing operations are: number 1, China with 55 factories. Number 2, Vietnam with 37 factories. Number 3, Japan with 13 factories. Number 4, Indonesia with 10 factories. Taiwan with 7 factories, following by India with 6 factories. In contrast, Asics' presence in other countries is far smaller, for each hosting only 1 to 3 factories. This distribution highlights Asics' strong focus on Asia, with China, Vietnam, Japan, and Indonesia standing out as some of the top manufacturing hubs. This location provides Asics with access to skilled labor, cost advantages, and a strategic proximity to global markets, enabling efficiency production and distribution to their worldwide retail stores. Notably, Vietnam emerged as the second largest manufacturing base for Asics, reinforcing its growing importance in the company's global supply chain strategy. As of 2024, Asics works with 37 factories split in the entire country and with a strong dominance in southern Vietnam in provinces such as Binh Nhung, Binh Phuc, and Dom Nai, accounting for a huge part of the production of footwear, apparel, and accessories. And several factories are actually standing out with a workforce between 5,000 to 10,000 employees per factory. And here are some of the major players. Phu Nguyen Vietnam from Phu Chen Corporation, situated in Tan Tao Ward in Binh Tan District, Ho Chi Minh City, is one of Asics' biggest partners. This factory focuses on footwear production and has a massive workforce. We have also Xing Hang Ink Company Limited, located in Dong Soi Town, Binh Phuc Province, also specialized in footwear. Bisco Vina Co. Limited, this factory is based in Chon Tan Industrial Park number 2 in Binh Phuc Province, also produces footwear and apparels for Asics. Finally, Dang Shoes Co. Limited, located in Bac Dong Phu Industrial Park, Binh Phuc Province, is also part of the list. So you understand the importance of Vietnam for Asics to manufacture a wide range of products. They are classified the number 2 after China. But actually for footwear, they are the number 1 because Vietnam is having 14 factories supplying Asics, while China is only having 4 factories. To break it down further, China has 55 factories in total under Asics' global supply chain, but only 4 of these factories are dedicating to producing footwear. The rest is focusing on apparel and accessories. So while China is strong in raw material supply and intermediate production, this is not the main hub for finished footwear products for Asics anymore. Now Vietnam stands out, and out of the 34 factories in the country, a remarkable 14 of them are dedicated exclusively to footwear production. This makes Vietnam the leading country for Asics in footwear, far surpassing China in this aspect. Among 21 countries where Asics operates factories, Vietnam is the top player for footwear, and this is a clear indication of the country's growing strengths in this manufacturing field. But that's not all. Let's talk about the tier system. Tier 1 factories are directly involved in manufacturing the final product, in this case footwear, while Tier 2 factories supply the materials and components that go into these products. Vietnam is a powerhouse in both Tier 1 and Tier 2, which means it's not only producing the end products, but also providing essential materials with rubber insole, outsole, and plastic parts. So what's the exciting part is that Vietnam has still a room to grow and offers opportunities for buyers who are looking to manufacture footwear products in the country. Did you know that Vietnam is actually ranked the number 2 worldwide to export footwear products just after China? In 2023, Vietnam produced 332 million of pairs of footwear, contributing over $20 billion to the global market. This is an impressive output, showcasing Vietnam's significance in the footwear industry, with exports accounting for about 10% of global shipments. You might be wondering, how did Vietnam get to this point? And there are actually several factors that come into play. First, there is a skilled workforce here that knows footwear inside and out. The labor costs in Vietnam for footwear manufacturing are indeed competitive, averaging between 1.5 to $2 per hour. When compared to China, this is significantly lower, with labor costs in China that are generally around $6.5 per hour for production workers. This wage difference is one of the key reasons why many footwear manufacturers are shifting production from China to Vietnam. Raising wages in China, combined with its increasing cost of doing business, have pushed many companies to explore more cost-effective options in neighboring countries like Vietnam. Vietnam has also made significant improvement to its manufacture. The government has invested heavily in developing roads, ports, and logistics systems to support efficient transportation and manufacturing processes. But here is another major point. This is trade agreements, and they expect to boost Vietnam's footwear export turnover between 27 to 28 billion US dollar by 2025 and further 38 to 39 billion US dollar by 2030. So before I share with you some of the things that you must know if you want to start your journey into sourcing and manufacturing footwear products in Vietnam, let's also discuss about some of the sustainability matters, requirements, and implementation that has been done by Asics to some of the key manufacturing partners, and let's share some of the interesting discoveries of Asics corporate documents about the sustainability practice. Asics has been ramping up efforts to integrate renewable energy across its global manufacturing footprint, and Vietnam is a key player in this transition. In 2023, 3 of Asics' suppliers in Vietnam and Indonesia took a major step forward by installing rooftop solar systems. The system allows facilities to generate a portion of the energy on-site, significantly reducing their reliance on traditional energy sources and lowering emissions associated with production. To further support this shift, Asics suppliers in Vietnam have also begun procuring renewable energy certificates, also known as energy attribute certificates. The certificates validate that the facility energy used is backed by renewable sources, a crucial measure to achieve Asics' sustainability targets. The combined impact of on-site solar power generation and RECs brings Asics closer to its goal of reaching 85% renewable energy sourcing in Tier 1 suppliers by 2030. So now, as you may have understood, Vietnam is one of the best countries to choose if you want to manufacture footwear products in Asia. Here is what you should know if you want to start your journey into sourcing and manufacturing such items. What about the future ahead? Vietnam's footwear industry is already strong, but with emerging technologies like automation and AI, things are going to get better. These technologies can help streamline production, improve precision, and reduce wastes. Imagine the possibilities. Also, as consumer preferences are shifting towards sustainability, more people want products that align with their values, so Asics' focus on eco-friendly production is a smart move to follow. Now, what about the challenges ahead? Now, as Vietnam rises as a global footwear manufacturing hub, challenges are emerging that extend beyond labor shortages. The integration of advanced machinery such as automated systems for cutting, stitching, and assembling requires workers to quickly adapt to new technology. These machines often come with a high initial cost, creating a gap between small-scale workshops we may lack the resources to invest and large-scale manufacturers, often foreign-owned, that can afford to upgrade, securing a significant market share through this investment. With stricter environmental regulations in place, manufacturers must adopt greener practices such as utilizing renewable energy and reducing waste to remain compliant. The shift not only aligns with global standards but also responds to the growing demand from consumers who prefer products from brands actively pursuing low carbon footprints and sustainability. Now, how can you get started? Factories in Vietnam specializing in footwear manufacturing will vary a lot in scale. Currently, larger Taiwanese and Chinese companies dominate the market with advanced machinery, greater production capacity, technical expertise, and the ability to handle more complex designs. In contrast, Vietnamese own factories tend to rely more on manual labor and traditional craftsmanship, reflecting a distinct approach to production. These factories typically operate as assembly lines, often involving hand stitching, and span multiple tiers of production, from crafting insole to manufacturing outer soles. The minimum order quantity is generally around 1,000 pairs with mold costs ranging from $3,000 to $5,000. It's worth noting that some factories may agree to cover or refund the mold cost if a large order is placed. While insole and outsole are produced locally in Vietnam, many raw materials may still need to be imported. To sum up, and according to the recent development, Vietnam may still be able to offer opportunities for new entrants, either small businesses or established companies, to start to source and manufacture footwear in the country. If you need any help, any assistance from finding the right supplier to doing due diligence, quality control, and taking care of the entire production needs in country, you can contact us and send us your inquiry. I will leave below in the description more detail about our products and services. I invite you to reach us out if you want a tailored assistance from our sourcing team. If you enjoy this video, leave a thumbs up and I see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Down and I'ma get it right. Then I'll